Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at one of my new favorite Mega Drive platformers. It's PulseMan. And this is one that I'm really surprised that it didn't get an international release. It features a lot of the staples of more well-known platformers from the day. It was released in Japan only in 1994. It was published by Sega and developed by Game Freak of Pokemon fame. The plot is actually kind of an odd one. A scientist creates an artificial intelligent program known as a sea life and falls in love with her. So he digitizes himself to enter the program and share his DNA with her. And the result of this unholy union is a human sea life hybrid known as PulseMan, who can move between the real and virtual worlds. The scientist unfortunately emerges from the program as a twisted version of his former self and begins wreaking havoc all over the planet. So PulseMan, his son, sets out to stop him. It's a cautionary tale for all of you VR porn enthusiasts out there. This game combines a lot of very familiar elements from other 16-bit platformers and adds a couple of its own unique elements as well. PulseMan can move with a lot of speed. He picks up momentum pretty quickly, kind of like a slower version of Sonic, but also can run into enemies by accident as they appear on screen. Also like Sonic, you have a standard attack that looks like an electric punch, and as you run for a short distance, you build up a charge that allows you to fire off a blast of electricity. When you have a charge going, you can also activate your Voltecker, which turns you into a ball of electricity that bounces all over the screen. This can get you to some hard-to-reach places, and it doubles as an attack. There are even large wires that you can connect to for quick travel, and when they're strung together, they can become essentially a big maze that you speed through. The only thing that puts your charge out? Water, of course, and certain water-like enemies, which comes into play in later stages. And speaking of, there is a stage select, but you initially only have access to the first 3. And when you finish those, another 3 open up, and then the 7th and final stage. Each stage comes complete with a boss battle, which are all fun but pretty easy as far as boss battles go. And after each stage, you get to play a bonus game in the vein of Breakout. There are health power-ups and the occasional 1-ups scattered around each stage, but the things you'll want to keep an eye out for are the Spark Balls. Collect 10 and you get a 1-up. Overall, I really love this game. It plays fast, the controls are perfect, the difficulty is just right, and PulseMan is a likable character. It's an all-around fun experience. Graphically, I think PulseMan is really impressive. If I was going to describe the visuals with one word, that word would be colorful. All of the stages are extremely vibrant, especially when you cross into the virtual world. The casino stage in particular is almost seizure-inducing. I love it. It really conveys the feeling of being in a totally electric world. The character and enemy designs are great too, again reminding me a bit of Sonic, Mega Man, and even some Treasure games to a certain extent. On the whole, just a great looking game. The sound design is really good too, but it suffers in spots. For the most part, the soundtrack is great with a lot of upbeat, 90s techno-style songs that take full advantage of the Mega Drive sound chip. but other songs take a more minimalist approach and just sound like a bunch of beeps and boops. Those aren't so good, but they're few and far between. The sound effects are good as well, and there are some especially good voice clips for a 16-bit game. So on the whole, this is a game that features some awesome presentation to go along with its very fun gameplay. So this is a fantastic game that I think could have been really popular if it had gotten an international release, and I highly recommend playing it should you get the chance. It's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, copies being sold online are extremely expensive, sometimes up to and over $300. Luckily, there are also reproduction carts available out there that are much more reasonable. So if you're a fan of 16-bit platformers, and you're in the market for something that's both familiar but brings something new to the table, then definitely check out PulseMan. It's shockingly fun. And that joke was shockingly bad.
Due to the efforts of PulseMan, the case was completely solved.